Right now, you probably think being wide awake is your most productive state. The truth is, the standard waking mind is often reacting to a barrage of external noise rather than focusing on high-level solutions. This chart shows the beta brainwave frequency, an electrical state vibrating between 14 and 21 cycles per second. This is the exact frequency your brain operates on when you are actively focusing on the physical world. 90% of humanity spends their entire life trapped inside this high-frequency storm. Relying exclusively on your 5 physical senses to solve complex problems keeps your brain locked in a state of high electrical impedance and continuous stress. Passive meditation is often framed as the only escape, sitting quietly for years in hopes of achieving a moment of stillness. But for most, that approach is too slow to solve the immediate problems of a modern life. Operating at this continuous high frequency forces the nervous system to stay in a state of high alert. This constant electrical demand makes chronic fatigue and mental blocks a physical certainty for anyone who cannot lower their brainwaves. But clinical research suggests a biological anomaly. The top 10% of natural innovators, visionaries, and highly intuitive thinkers do not process their core ideas in that chaotic waking state. To understand why, we have to look at the work of José Silva. He spent 22 years investigating the specific bioelectrical advantage that separates these exceptional minds from the rest of the population. Silva utilized clinical electroencephalograph, or EEG, machines to monitor test subjects in real time. These devices allowed him to track the tiny electrical pulses produced by the brain and observe exactly how different people process information. The readouts revealed a specific physical ability shared by these peak performers. They effortlessly slow their brainwaves down to a deep, stable frequency while remaining completely awake and physically alert. These decades of EEG recordings demonstrated a repeatable link. Peak performers don't achieve their results by increasing their waking beta output, but by intentionally slowing their brainwaves to access their deeper mental resources. This is the alpha frequency. Operating between 7 and 14 cycles per second, it is significantly slower and more rhythmic than beta. Notice the absolute center, 10 cycles per second. Silva identified this as the fundamental frequency, where your biocomputer experiences the lowest electrical resistance. At 10 cycles per second, the logical left hemisphere of your brain and the intuitive right hemisphere synchronize. By bridging these two hemispheres, you move past the limitations of the 5 physical senses. At this level, you can mentally project your awareness and perceive solutions that aren't immediately visible in your physical surroundings. Reducing the electrical noise in the brain also triggers a deep physiological relaxation. This shift allows the body to redirect its energy away from managing stress and towards its natural processes of cellular repair and recovery. This state represents dynamic meditation, a workspace where you remain fully conscious and in control, capable of making direct changes to your health, your habits, and your mindset. You do not need to spend decades in an isolated monastery to access this state. Your brain is a highly adaptable machine, and you can mechanically train it to reach the alpha level in a matter of weeks. This chart maps out the Silva method's 40-day blueprint. It is a precise psychological architecture designed to systematically break down your brain's waking electrical resistance. We begin at the top of the chart by capitalizing on the natural grogginess you feel the moment you wake up. For the first 10 days, you lie still, close your eyes, and slowly count backward from 100 down to 1. Moving down the timeline, the next 10 days accelerate the process. You cut the count in half, stepping down from 50 to 1. This forces your brain to carve deeper, faster neurological pathways into the subconscious. The final blocks of the sequence require a 25 to 1 count, and finally a rapid 10 to 1 count. By the end of this progression, your mind is conditioned to bypass its waking defenses and drop into alpha in seconds. There is no mysticism required here. This is pure mechanical discipline, a proven neurological bridge connecting your conscious mind directly to your inner intelligence. Day 40 is your destination. You arrive as the master of your biocomputer. Start your countdown tomorrow morning and take permanent control of your mind's